Well, hello, this is the Animation Fanatic. Today, I finally was able to see the new Total Drama All Stars episode, and wow, it was a very good one. Actually, I was a little late with seeing it because yeah, I'm in another time zone here, and I also didn't watch it last night, but I just finished it, and yeah, I'm impressed with where this season is going. I'm very excited to see some of the stuff that's developing now play out and conclude, hopefully, in this season. I, there's just two things I'm wondering. I'm wondering if we'll get not the peanut gallery, the after show special where uh, all of the eliminated cast members come back and have their talk, and the ones who didn't get picked come back and talk, and I think, and be hosted by Jeff and Bridget and possibly somebody else this season. I can't imagine Blaine Leak staying away from something like that, but whatever, I don't know. I wonder if that's going to happen this season. I also wonder if the rumors are really true and there is going to be a new team like halfway through this season. I don't know, but that would be very cool. Might need more episodes though. I'm not sure. But anyway, we've had this is another elimination challenge. Apparently I misspoke about people being on Boney Island for a week. They're only there for a night. I guess the timeline isn't passing quite the way it does in the first season, but whatever. Anyway, the episode starts out with the hamsters fresh off of their victory against the Vultures the previous day, and Sam doing very poorly on Boney Island, getting attacked by bears. He said it was unbearable. Ha! But anyway, bad puns aside, the heroes are relishing it in their newfound victory, with Sierra still equally obsessed with Cody. Actually, it's kind of getting worse in this episode, and you'll see why. Eventually, that night, Evil Mike comes out for a brief minute and actually destroys Sam's game guy. Game guy. I wonder what that could be in the real world. Destroying Sam's game guy, but then real Mike comes back and doesn't really know what happened. Anyway, the villainous Vultures are having trouble kind of getting along. Scott's, I guess, has been each team sort of seems to have a we get injured a lot comic relief. For the villainous Vultures, it's Scott, who keeps getting hurt by something or someone, or just hurting himself. And for the heroic hamsters, it's Sam, who usually doesn't get hurt by his own volition, but by something else or somebody else. And we'll see, it gets even worse for him in this whole episode. Anyway, the villainous Vultures are having trouble getting along, either not trusting each other or arguing about teamwork. And then the next day we have our next challenge, a military-themed challenge, which Chris states is somewhat modeled after the Season 2 War Games. Although I think it's a little bit more different since no one has to build a fort in this one. It sort of reminded me of the paintball challenge in the deer hunting paintball challenge in the episode back in Season 1. Only this time there's no paintballs, since apparently part of Chris's parole is not to be near any harmful projectiles, but instead we have leeches. Nasty. I find it a little disappointing that Chef didn't bring out his whole Grandmaster Chef and dress in his military camo and everything like he usually does, but I can forgive it. It's early in the season, and I'm sure he'll have plenty of time to do all the usual Chef stuff he does. Speaking of Chef, he hasn't done terribly much, but at least he has talked and been helpful. I hope they don't kind of sideline him like they did in the previous season for half the show. Anyway, the goal of the challenge is to get to the is to eliminate the other team, but first they have to get to the right box with weapons. The villainous Vultures managed to suck it up and stop arguing and follow Gwen's lead to try and manage to get the better technology. Now, a few things about this. Heather, Joe, and Alejandro are all kind of playing for Gwen's attention because they think, well, if we get Gwen, then Duncan will come along with her. Scott's strategic genius seems to have failed him for this one, as he is kind of reduced to paying comic relief. I'd say, does he really deserve that? But I just think of episode 5 of the last season and say, yes. Although, maybe Heather could get some more, I don't know. But anyway, continuing on with the series, continuing on with the episode, the villainous vultures following Gwen manage to get the high tech, and the hamsters retreat to a cave where they leave Sam behind because of his previous night's injuries, and Courtney to guard him. They go out, and they go out. Now, Gwen's very enthusiastic trying to lead them, but she is shown to be somewhat incompetent at doing and unable to do it. Now, this actually surprises me, because in action she was shown to be a fairly competent leader, modestly, and in Island, although she was never quite a leader, she was a very skilled player and able to kind of help people do things. But, like I said, this is a team full of villains and bickerers, so yeah. Anyway, most of the villainous vultures are taken out fairly easily by Zoe and Mike, and Cameron, who does a nice little bit of math and manages to hit Duncan, although he was aiming for Gwen. Yeah, the villainous vultures get mostly taken out due to the fact that they're either distracting each other or fighting or whatnot. Scott actually gets taken out by Joe, who's manning a leech cannon, and shoots him, and she says he should have ducked. Anyway, after all that, Joe heads to the cave to try to take out the last of the opposing team, but unfortunately is taken out by Zoe in a little Matrix move. I'd just like to say, I'm so old, I remember when The Matrix was kind of a new movie. I've never seen it, but I know the whole, lean back, slow motion. Does the new generation of TV watchers even know what that is? Does anybody find it funny anymore? Does anybody find it interesting anymore? That is one of those that is one of those jokes or things that people do that is just worn so thin. It's been a joke since I was little. I'm 18 now. I'm almost 19 actually, and it's just so old. But complaints aside, the villainous vultures are defeated, and at the end of the day, Joe is eliminated. Oh, I was going to say spoilers if you don't want to know who got eliminated. But anyway, Joe is eliminated and sent down the flush of shame. We have a funny little bit with Lightning sending a pre-recorded message to her. That's pretty funny. I think it's a little unfair. I kind of get why they eliminated her because she did kind of botch things up, but I think it's a little unfair that Gwen didn't make it to the final almost eliminated because her leadership wasn't so great. But again, the others were bickering, so it wasn't entirely her fault. Anyway, the heroic hamsters have a second win in a row. I hope this doesn't become a thing. But anyway, Cameron volunteers to go to Boney Island because Sierra has been getting a little too obsessive and keeps imagining him as Cody. So he hopes the time away will satisfy her. And we have a team switch. Really surprising because usually team switches happen after happen to a person who is lost or happen because of some event. But the team switch in question is due to what was I going to say? It is between Courtney and Duncan. Duncan is sent to the heroes team, and he seems rather overly annoyed since he's actually been losing on this other team. And Courtney is sent to the villains, thanks to heroic and villainous behavior on both their parts. Now, Duncan took a leech for Gwen, which was heroic, and Courtney put Sam up in front of her to shield him. Now, I've seen another reviewer. There's another reviewer that I think you guys should all check out, Akira 500 on DeviantArt. He's got a great series on this. He's going to be reviewing every episode, just like I am. He reviewed all the episodes of Total Drama: Revenge of the Island. He's very funny. He's very smart. He's a big fan of Total Drama. I don't always. I agree with him about 90% of the time. 90% of the time. The other 10%, I'm like, eh. But yeah, he's very smart. He's very good. He's very good. Very entertaining. He's also done I think an episode from World Tour and what was it? Action. But yeah, he's been saying like, oh, I think Courtney's not so bad. She's trying. She's not gonna be villainous. But I just and he was hoping for interaction between Zoe and Courtney. I was kind of hoping for that too, but I think Courtney is really kind of showing her true colors because she has kind of been a villain or villainess in the last villainish in the last couple of seasons. I do sort of miss nice Courtney from the first season, but I think she's long gone. So anyway, I enjoyed this episode a lot. Just watch out, Fresh TV. Don't screw this up. But I have high hopes for this season. I have high hopes for the series in general. I know it's too early to be worrying about this, but where do we go after this? Do we just keep reinventing casts or what? I honestly don't know. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We've got more cast members than we have here. We've got possibly even more later. We'll see what goes on. Until next time. Oh, and this weekend, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is finally back, and I cannot wait to review it. As for Shaolin Showdown, Shaolin Chronicles, I still debating, but I don't think I'll be doing it. I think it might be time to pass this torch on to a new generation. I might come back for the season finale though, because that's when stuff starts happening in Shaolin shows. But who knows? Until next time.